are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. In today's video, I will be sharing with you the cost of living in China. Just a disclaimer, this is not a one-off thing. This is just my personal experience, and cost of living depends on really your personal spending and also the city that you live in. And if you live in one of the major cities in China, for example Beijing or Shanghai, cost of living will be a bit higher because those are major cities, and I've been to Shanghai and some stuff are really more expensive than in my city. Just some information before I continue. The Chinese currency is called renminbi, but for short we say RMB. However, the unit for the Chinese currency is called yuan. So you might hear me interchange between RMB and yuan, but do not be confused. It is basically the same thing. One is just the unit and the other is the name of the currency. I get paid in RMB, so I'll be quoting in RMB. So before we get into the expenses, let's talk about salary. So firstly, I work as an ESL in China. That's an English as a second language teacher. Salary for English as a second language teacher from about as low as 10,000 RMB to as high as 30,000 RMB per month. This all depends on the school that you're at. The private institution pays a bit more than the public institutions. For my school, I get a base salary of around 10,000 RMB, but then there are many different bonuses that I receive as well. For example, if say we are supposed to have 80 classes per month, if we have maybe 100 classes or more, then we get a bonus for all the extra classes over 80. And if we wear our uniforms all the time, we get a bonus for that too. If we are never late and we are always at work, we get a bonus for that. We also get visa bonus. What else do we get a bonus for at my school? I don't remember, but yeah, so salary varies. Let's now get into expenses. My first expense for the month is rent. My rent is 2,200 RMB per month. So our school gives us a housing fee. The housing fee is 2,000 RMB. I just pay the extra 200 RMBs towards that 2,000 RMB to pay. Rent though is paid every 3 months. So I'd have to put that 2,000 RMB aside so that I have that to pay every 3 months. Don't mind if I'm looking down. I actually have a book that I wrote it down in, and I am looking down at it. So my next expense is electricity. So electricity is paid every 2 months. Electricity is around 300 RMB. It can be more or it can be less, but I pay every 2 months. My first electricity payment when I got here was like 99 yuan, and then the second one, because I got here in winter, I used all the heat, like literally. My 2 months electricity bill was like 914 RMB, but that's the highest it has ever been. Other than that, as time goes by, it was like 294 RMB. Another 2 months it was like 89 RMB, and then another it was 174 RMB. So I just calculate that as 300 RMB per every 2 on average. The next expense is water. Water is also paid every 2 months. However, when I got here, My first water came within 4 months. I was like, why didn't I get a water? But I didn't complain though, because it's better for me. And when that bill came, it was 26.19 yuan. Literally no money, because 25 yuan is like 500 Jamaican dollars. So I literally paid like 600 to 700 yuan on my first water bill, and that was for an entire 4 months. So I usually just count 50 yuan for my water, because I've never gotten a water that is more than 29 yuan. Phone. So our phones are prepaid. So I have to top up my phone every month. I typically top up with like 100 yuan, which is like 2,000, like a bit Jamaican, and it usually keeps me for the entire month. The next expense for me is food. I budget 1,000 to 1,500 yuan for food every month. It can be less, it just all depends on the month, because I buy a lot of stuff in bulk. So like rice, oil, and all those stuff, I buy them all in bulk. So most times when I'm grocery shopping for a new month, I don't have to buy those stuff. Now, to travel, I literally don't go anywhere. I don't go nowhere but work. And I live 10 to 15 minutes walk from my workplace. So I don't pay any taxi fare, any bus fare, anything like that. The only time I would pay a taxi to go to work is if I'm running late or if it is raining, and that is a small percentage of time. So me really and truly don't even calculate travel. The only way I travel is if I'm probably going to the supermarket, which I hardly ever do, because I purchase most of my stuff online except for like vegetables and stuff like that, and it's delivered. So I don't bother to go to the supermarket as often. Another way I would travel is if I'm like going out, maybe to a restaurant or something, and that is like probably once, twice a month. So traveling really and truly is not much. In regards to insurance, that one year sad, that one year depressing. This depressing bad, because I don't know how insurance work. Because initially when I applied for the job and I spoke to the HR person and I asked about insurance. I don't remember what she said to me, but then I asked her again before I came here, and she said going to the hospital is not expensive. That is all she was saying. So I really don't know how it works with the company's insurance for the workers. I honestly don't. And I don't know if it's actually a thing here, because I applied for another school while I was in lockdown, and I asked about insurance, and the insurance person, she said to me that we don't know how to apply for insurance for foreigners. I'm like, what? How don't you know? I personally think maybe it would be the same as how you would apply for it for a native, you know? But we just might need different documents. So I'm like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was really crazy. So I'm not pretty sure. But regarding the hospitals not being expensive, I've never ever been to the hospital, because I've never been sick like that. I have like, once I had like a cold, but that was it when I just got here, because I was adjusting to the change of environment. But my friend went to the hospital already, so I kind of asked her how the cost went. So she told me they paid like 20 yuan to register and around 200 yuan. It was not so much, it was like 100 and something yuan, but I don't remember the exact figure, to pay for the actual service that she got. And that is like around 4,000 something dollars Jamaican. So it really isn't quite expensive, but I have not been to the hospital at all, so I personally do not know. So for lunch each month I budget around 250 yuan. Since work begins at 2:15 in the afternoon, typically I eat before I go to work. If not, I will take something with me or I'll buy something at the convenience store. So it is not a lot and I don't have to budget a lot for that. There is also a deduction from my pay other than my expenses. There's one deduction which is tax. Based on how taxes are calculated here in China, my tax is always 500 yuan. It is never more than 500 yuan. So my calculations for all my expenses totals to 4,130 yuan per month, which is 618 US dollars or 90,000 Jamaican dollars. It's feasible for me to be here at this time because it works. It really works for me. But just remember that this is not the case for everyone. Some people might have less expenses than I do, or some people might have more expenses than I do. So yeah. So guys, if you have reached the end of this video, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope it was informative and I hope you like it. Also remember to like, comment, share and subscribe down below, and also hit that post notification bell so that you are notified each and every time I upload. Bye lovelies. Mwah. 'Cause you got me